everyone, it's Bunny, and after a more somber video last week, I thought I'd do something slightly more true to form. If you guessed I was doing another Metroidvania, correct! This week I'm taking a look at Axiom Verge, a fantastic homage to the granddaddy of the genre, Metroid. You awaken in a dark and alien-looking pod room as a character named Trace, who has amnesia because he's a scientist and that's what happens when you muck about with science. A disembodied voice guides you to your basic weapon and then leaves you largely to your own devices. The sound effect you just heard is one of many fantastic auditory references to the 2D side-scrollers of the Metroid era, though more often than not I'm reminded of the original Duke Nukem. People have complained in some of the other reviews I've looked at that they are sometimes grating, though I think they're talking rubbish. In fact, I fired up my Amstrad to check and I can confirm that they're nowhere near as abrasive as game sounds used to be. I really enjoyed how the developer captures all aspects of the games this pays reference to. As with pretty much every game out there, progression is gated by occasional and sizable bosses who put all you've learned in the previous rooms to the test. Late game bosses are bullet hell style extravaganzas with difficult to target weak spots and several phases. Expect to die a lot. There are a couple of things I wanted to mention at this point. There's always a save location 1 or 2 gates away from each boss, which is brilliant. Also, the developers fixed one particular bugbear of mine from games both past and present. The introductory sequences to each boss will only happen the first time you meet them, so no more frustrating waiting for the fight to begin. Health isn't readily available, it drops from some monsters upon death, meaning that in a lot of situations you'll find yourself noping through the room. There's no fast travel either in Axiom Verge, true to the glorious Retrogasm that it is, and so there is a downside that you'll find yourself going back and forth getting to areas newly unlocked by upgrades or a new item. Beyond the gun, there are 2 main extras, the drill, which I found particularly hilarious, and a gun which alters the very essence of the world around you, mobs included. This enables you to get through areas you wouldn't have previously, or change monsters to be more player-friendly, especially the heart, wasp, nest thingies. They spew out health instead of wasps. This mechanic feels somewhat underused, but then again, with the sheer number of unlockable ammo types in game, it's not something I would say was a bad thing, just a bit of a shame. The upgrades themselves are mostly found through player discovery, though you are guaranteed some sort of upgrade after each boss. As there are only a few bosses and many ammo types, it's safe to say that Axiom Verge rewards player exploration. There's even areas outside of the map. No, really, you can glitch out of the world and it's fantastic. Ammo is hot swappable, so if mid-fight you realise what you're doing is completely ineffective, then pausing the game and changing out is possible. Another observation would be that there is no specific progression system, inasmuch as a weapon you get right before a difficult area isn't necessarily going to make your life easier. It keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. Upgrades come in all sorts of flavours, such as range on weapon or extending your health bar, and there are a few abilities that Trace can learn later on in the game. These would serve to spoil some of the story, however, so I'm leaving the rest out. Another unusual and frankly very welcome addition is the save mechanics. Beyond using the pods to save the game, each time you die you're brought back to life at the last pod you used, having lost 0 progression in the process. This is a stroke of genius for a game like this. If you imagine how irritated you'd be having finally reached a remote location, unlocked an awesome new ammo type, and all of a sudden you're dead. It's marvellous that the developer worked a way to avoid this. I think that pretty much sums up this game. It's a very enjoyable homage to a much older games, with some of the really game-breakingly terrible features removed or improved, such as bad save locations and so on. It is difficult, I will not lie about that. I was very much struggling with this at one point, and very nearly fell out with it as well. This was swiftly fixed by consuming a couple of energy drinks, however. Axiom Verge is best played with 0 fucks given about deaths, and a balls-to-the-wall, high-octane playstyle. That's me done for now. Thank you ever so much for watching. As ever, your support is really very much appreciated. Please leave any comments below, and if you enjoyed this, chuck me a like and a subscribe, as it's always helpful to me. Here's another couple of videos if you fancy any more, and I shall see you next time.